Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today we're going to be discussing, is Gary Neville right about Tottenham Hotspur? But before we get into this one, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because it will let you know when I've gone live. And also later in the video I will be telling you how you can become a member of Sonny Talk Spurs and help support the channel as we continue to grow and grow our Tottenham Hotspur fan base. Honestly, thank you so much if you have subscribed already. I really appreciate it. But now let's discuss what Gary Neville has had to say about Tottenham. So the last time Spurs played a game was against Manchester United, where it finished 2-2 in the Premier League. We've got Manchester City in the FA Cup in a few days, which is going to be a nervy game, quite a pivotal game, because a lot of Tottenham fans want to win a trophy, including myself. But City is going to be a hard fixture. But I've been wanting to do a video about what Gary Neville has had to say since that fixture, in regards to Tottenham in that game and the rest of the season ahead. You know, we're with us at this sort of crossroads with the winterish break that we've sort of had in the Premier League, where there's been some fixtures one week and then fixtures the next. I just wanted to discuss, like, you know, we're at a point where what could happen, where can we finish? Lots of questions are being asked about Tottenham and the teams in and around us. And Gary Neville has had a few good things to say. You know, following that game, a lot of, you know, him and the pundits were discussing Tottenham in a positive outlook, because we'd gone to Old Trafford, even with Manchester United's poor form, and put on a show that Manchester United fans would be happy to see from their side. I know it finished 2-2. Roy Keane had some choice words to say about the game. Thought we were so over-celebrating too much, which is weird because apparently he is a Tottenham fan, so hard to get your head around all that sort of stuff. But Gary Neville has, as I say, said a few things about Tottenham in the last few weeks and after that game. And I just wanted to discuss that today. So first of all, I'm going to put a tweet on screen of something that he said. So this tweet basically outlines of what he said on Sky, and it says, Gary Neville expects Tottenham Hotspur to finish the season strongly. You mix good recruitment with good coaching, and all of a sudden you have a good football team. Dragerson, Van der Ven and Romero, they have 3 young centre-halves. They have 2 young exciting fullbacks. They have a really good goalkeeper. They get their midfield back from the African Cup of Nations and get these forward players back. They can really fly towards the end of the season. They can really fly. They are really good to watch. They are so good to watch. They have a lot going for them. The manager is a breath of fresh air and completely changed the whole football club in terms of how it is viewed both externally and internally, with the impact he has had on everybody. So some very positive, you know, thoughts from Gary Neville. And I think, you know, a lot of Tottenham fans will agree with what he's had to say here. Tottenham since last season has basically flipped on its head. You know, we went from being in the doldrums, being in the trenches under Antonio Conte, Daniel Levy being frustrating. I've done a video actually on Daniel Levy and is he changing? Is he becoming the perfect owner? So go and check that one out after you've seen this. But sort of similar points are overlapping about Tottenham becoming this different club with Ange Postecoglou as their manager. We're playing better football. We're doing better in the transfer market. It's a lot of positive things to say. We're playing so much better football, where, you know, pundits like Gary Neville, who, you know, he can be hit and miss with some of his predictions. He said a lot about Arsenal in the last couple of years as well. But it's good to hear that he backs Tottenham so much. But he does maybe back us a bit too far. But before I get into what he has said in that regard, here's a little message of how you can become a member of Sonny Talk Spurs. Hello and welcome to Sonny Talk Spurs, and now you can become a member on the channel and support me as I make wonderful Tottenham content for all you Spurs fans and everyone else. Not only will this help the channel keep going, but for a small monthly fee, you can get exclusive content. This includes a weekly podcast called Nice One Sonny. You can see what I did there, where I will round out the biggest talking points from Tottenham Hotspur from the week and answer all your questions in a Q&A session as well. So make sure you always get your questions in my comment section with the hashtag #NiceOneSonny. And this means all you Spurs fans can get involved in the content that I make. There's also custom emojis and loyalty badges you you can get for becoming a member. I am so loving making Tottenham Hotspur fan content. It's been a dream of mine for years, and finally being able to do it is so special for me. And I'd like to say a huge thank you if you've subscribed to Sonny Talk Spurs so far. It has really helped me on my journey so far. So click on the link just below me and you can become a Sonny Talk Spurs member today. Cheers. So now moving on to his second point of view, and this is where sort of Tottenham can finish this season, and I'll sort of round it up with where I actually think Tottenham will end up and finish. So Gary Neville on where Tottenham finish this season. I think they can get second or third. I think if they get through these next few weeks, they can be better than Arsenal and Liverpool. Obviously, this was said directly after the game against Manchester United, and since then Arsenal have, beat Crystal Palace 5-0 and Liverpool were thrashed Bournemouth on the south coast. So I'll be honest, from this point of view, I think Gary Neville might go a step too far in the sense of, I think Liverpool, I think my favourites for the Premier League are Manchester City, without doubt. I just think, even though they've, hit a bit of a sticky point, they're still the favourites, aren't they, for the time being? I think Liverpool will run them close, but maybe they could finish second. Now, Arsenal have been in a sticky patch, but I think they could come third. So, personally, I still think fourth is up for grabs, and I think Tottenham can achieve fourth. With what Gary Neville has said, you get Sarr back from AFCON, you get Basuma back from AFCON, you get Son back from the Asian Cup, you get Maddison back from injury. You're looking at a better team. You saw against Manchester United with our full defence, it's sort of ticking with our midfield as well. I think our midfield is struggling at the moment with Højbjerg, sort of being a bit iffy, but he's not, the same calibre as some of the midfielders we have who are not currently available. I think Skip has been quite good. He was good against Manchester United, one of his better games since probably AC Milan away. So there is promise, but we still need our full-strength squad to finish in the top four. And you look at the other teams in and around us, I think Villa might drop off a bit. Their draw against Everton was not really good in the end. Manchester United, I don't think are strong enough. Chelsea the same. Newcastle. I think there's more negatives going on in those football clubs compared to us, even with our injury situation. But, we've been positive. We've gone out in the market. We've signed Werner on loan, Dragons on a permanent. So I think there are a lot of positives to say. But with this prediction, I think Gary Neville is going a bit too far. And I think it was a bit in the heat of the moment against his own football club. And there is that thing about, comparing Manchester United and Tottenham where one team seems to be going up and the other team sort of seems to be floundering and treading water, which is quite interesting. But I think, it's good to hear someone like Gary Neville say all this positive. A lot of the media have been quite positive about Tottenham this season. Even when, Ange Postecoglou was on his tricky run, there was positives about the style of play, the recruitment, just individual performances. I think, I saw a video by my good friend Zach Jalab, and there was a discussion about who has been your side's worst player. And a lot of people were saying Brennan Johnson, but I feel like Brennan Johnson is a bit of a process of elimination. And we all think Brennan Johnson is going to come good, which is obviously a positive for us. But really good to hear this sort of thing by Gary Neville, being quite bold about us. I think, a lot of pundits will still have us at top four. At the beginning of the season, I think I predicted us around 6th or 5th without Harry Kane. A lot of people had us a lot lower. So Ange Postecoglou has proven to be a breath of fresh air at the football club, which we all know. We've all seen it. But I think top four is there. I think if next couple of games, maybe a good cup run as well, if we keep getting these positive results, who knows where we can finish. Maddison will be like a new signing. That sounds so stereotypical, but yeah, I'm positive. And I just think, to round it up really, Gary Neville, I believe with what you said in the first point. The second point, not so much. So let me know, how much do you agree with Gary Neville? Do you agree with his first point, his second point, both, or none at all? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And as I said at the top of the video, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs, and hit that notification bell because it'll let you know when I've gone live, and become a member. The message was halfway through the video, so it really helps me, supports the channel, and you get exclusive content with the Nice One Sonny podcast, which will be out tomorrow on Wednesday if you're watching this on Tuesday when the video drops. So yeah, check that out. Check out my previous videos on Daniel Levy. A lot of videos went up over the weekend. Go check them all out after you've watched this. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you again pretty soon. Ciao.